Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris news. Due to the continued health crisis across Europe, Disneyland Paris has confirmed it will not reopen on the 13th of February as originally planned. The reopening has now been pushed back to April the 2nd.
Change of reopening plans has also affected the reopening plans of several hotels. Santa Fe and Newport Bay will open with the parks in April, with the other hotels given dates in summer and autumn.
No date has been given for the reopening of Disneyland Hotel, leading to speculation this will be an extended closure to allow for the long-planned refurbishment.
It has been confirmed that annual passes will have their expiry dates automatically updated to add the number of days the parks have and will be closed. I don't understand that. Currently, 155 days.
A promotional video featuring Tom Holland has been released for the new Spider-Man Web Slingers attraction, coming soon to Disneyland Anaheim and Disneyland Paris Avengers campuses.
Campai.
So that's when they have and when they will be closed.
Well,
that's what
I couldn't say
the
dates that they have been closed, and I couldn't say the dates that they will be closed because we're in the middle of it. So the dates that have been closed up to now, plus all the dates between now and April the 2nd.
Right.
That
Lucy writes these out, and sometimes we don't read them beforehand, and we get a bit confused.
And my English isn't always brilliant.
I thought I was reading a different one, so I literally read it as I was reading it out.
Oh.
I also
we've got both Marks in the chat.
Hey, Mark.
It's always good to have the double Marks. We've got Susie's back. She's not been here. She might.
Hi, Susie.
She might be quiet.
Susie, I'm so glad you're here because look what I've got on.
And Bob Sangwell.
Oh, hi, Bob.
And we got a parcel from Bob, and we'll tell you about that later.
That's in the also at 37 Disney Street. Right. Let's start with the bad news. We can get on to the good news later.
Is there good news?
This was foreseen, wasn't it, that they wouldn't be opening on the 13th of February. In fact, I'm thinking that this time last week we were discussing the probabilities and we didn't seem hopeful. Now, the thing is, I'm really glad they've done it. I'm really glad they've done it now, and I'm really glad they've given a date because I am quite hopeful for the 2nd of April. That seems like a realistic timeline. We know that resorts that size, they need to order in food, they need to do staff rotas, they need that amount of time. So I think that seems a very plausible and realistic timeline, and I think it'll strengthen the park in being. Do you agree?
Yeah, I get. I mean, I'm still not overly optimistic of what it's going to mean when it does open on the 2nd of April. You know, vaccines are slow, particularly in Europe. There's just been announcements that Pfizer are pulling back how much in terms of vaccine they're going to be delivering in the first quarter of the year. It's going to have massive impact on this. So,
the UK isn't relying on Pfizer, though, are they? I think 80% of ours is.
No, and we're not in the EU, so it doesn't affect us. I guess.
Can I just say, I just saw a little announcement before we came on air. The Seychelles has been the first sort of government and tourist industry to confirm that anyone who has had and can prove they have had both doses of the vaccine can go on holiday to the Seychelles and not need to quarantine. They're the first country to say that. Now, if they set a precedent, I think it is you've got to prove you've had a negative test in 72 hours and that you've had both doses of the vaccine, good to go. Now, if that works there, hopefully it'll start going places like the south of Spain, Canary Islands, and then we might get a bit of a precedent set. But it's easy for isolated places like the Seychelles to do that. France is a big country. It's very different for those kind of places.
I think everything seems a little bit soon to me. I mean, last week we were talking about how excited I was that I'd finally moved my holiday and I was now going in in July, and we're staying at Sequoia. Well, now we know Sequoia's not going to be open until October, so I can't stay there. So yet again, my holiday has to change if we choose to go then. And we're pretty sure now we're just going to cancel it, and we'll go when things calm down, because it just doesn't seem worth getting our hopes up again anymore. So,
but it's not cancelled yet, did you say? Because I was under the impression you'd already cancelled it.
No, it isn't cancelled yet, because it's not as easy as that, because basically they're dealing with on a first come first come first served basis. There we go. But when I contacted them before to move it, things were reasonably quiet, because the plan was still would open on the 13th of February, so they were dealing with everybody up until that time. But as soon as this announcement was made, their Magic Break, Disneyland Paris are back to being rammed busy, and they have to do it in order, because otherwise it's not fair on the people who've got the closest bookings. So I've dropped them an email to ask what it means to us, and I'm going to kind of take it from there. But from what I can gather, they'd move us to Newport Bay with what we've got. And that's fine, that's great. But at the same time, July seems very soon now to me. It feels like, we'll only be a month, maybe 2 months out of what's been happening anyway. It just seems like it's too soon to be thinking of taking a trip abroad at the moment to me.
Mark with the K's booked for middle of December.
Well,
much more sensible idea.
We're booked for Florida for May, and we only booked that in like early December, I think. And we hadn't gone up this big peak that we'd gone then. And it all seemed so realistic and fine. It didn't occur to us for a second we won't be able to go. And now we're even doubting that, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, big time.
Anyway, I'll get these hotel dates confirmed, because there's some chat to be had about that. We know that Santa Fe and Newport Bay are opening. So that's going to redistribute the people who've booked into different hotels in various ways. And you've got 2 big hotels open, and the 2 biggest, I think, of the categories. And then Cheyenne and Davy Crockett Ranch is opening on July the 1st. Now that's interesting, because that wasn't set to open at all, was it?
Not before. No, it was always left open-ended, wasn't it?
So this is all new bookings that they'll be taking then. There's no existing bookings for that resort. And it's a very different kind of holiday there. You have to have a car to go to David Crockett Ranch. It's self-catering, or you've got the possibility of self-catering. Let's face it, very few people do. So it's interesting that they've chosen to open that and Cheyenne together. So they'll have 2 value, 3 value if you count Newport Bay, leapfrog a key, and then you're up to Newport Bay, and they're not opening Sequoia Lodge till October the 23rd. So I think that's quite an interesting choice, in my opinion. Maybe they're looking, I don't know, it's quite an autumnal hotel, isn't it, the Sequoia Lodge?
I guess, though, if they're midway through refurbishments now with Sequoia, it makes sense to continue with that. So it's probably the right time for them to be shutting it anyway. If they're not ready for Marvel to open either, and Disneyland Hotel now looks like it's going to be shut for the foreseeable future, it kind of,
the next piece of news, isn't it?
It kind of makes sense that they get Sequoia done as quick as they can and get it open again, so that they've got capacity. Because if things do improve, June, July, August, they're still going to be very restricted. But getting to October, if things are still getting better, then they're going to be wanting to up their capacity, and they're going to need the hotels open to be able to do that.
And of course, in usual times, it would be a business's job to get as many bums on seats as possible, get money back, get people there. But at this point, that they don't really want to be doing that, do they? They just want enough people. So they've got this brand new hotel out of Marvel pretty much ready to go. They could do a big old grand opening in April and, really sell it, get loads of people there. That's not what they want. It's the most unusual time.
Do you not think with Avengers Campus moving ahead still and getting there, that it almost makes more sense to do the whole thing with one big bang at some point?
Yes, I do.
And my view is I might as well wait until that happens before my next trip, because it's unlikely. I don't have an annual pass like you guys do. It's not something for us that we can just go down for a weekend or whatever. So any trip that we make is going to be a week trip, and it's going to be, we make a deal out of it. So if we can't get everything we want at the moment, this is why we said I think we're pretty sure we're going to cancel, so that we can do that. Makes more sense.
We've had a question about annual passes from Mark with a Q.
Mhm.
He says, if you don't have one yet, when would be a good time to get one, considering it's valid for a year and the 30th anniversary is next year?
Oh,
And also follow up, which one to go for if you're not likely to go very often? And that it might
Cheapest
be
one.
collectible.
if you're not going to go very often, what you need to look at is when you are going to go, because they've got blackout dates. Infinity has got no blackout dates and it's megally expensive. We've got the next one down, which was the Magic Plus, because we did look at when various holidays were and would we want to go then and all that kind of thing. And it was because we wanted to go in December, I think.
Yeah.
Or it only had all the weekends in December were blocked out, so we had to get the Magic Plus. Now, if you're planning on going, let's say mid-September, which is a really quiet period, and mid-January, you could probably get away with having one of the cheapest ones. So you kind of need to project out when you want to go and then look at the blackout dates. As far as when's the best time to get one, as far as I'm aware, if you want to pay outright for one, you have to do it in the park. So the way to do that is get a one-day ticket and then go and upgrade it in the park, and then you get refunded the price of the one-day ticket. Now, I think within the last year or so, they brought on that you can set up a direct debit and pay for it over the phone, and we didn't do that, so I'm not confident on it. But to answer your question, the best time to get one would be the next time you go, because you don't want to pay for an annual pass 3 months before you use it. You want to start it on the day that you start it, and then that gives you the longest time. So the next time you plan on going, get a one-day ticket instead of a package, upgrade it to an annual pass, and choose your annual pass by planning your blockout dates. Was that a good answer?
I thought that was a great answer, personally.
Make sure you know roughly what time the office is closing, so you're not in like a gamble situation like us where we had like 6 minutes to run there.
We arrived at the tickets gate, so 10 minutes before the annual pass thing closed, and it was a gamble whether we use this one-day ticket to go in and not get the thing, and then we'd have to buy another one-day ticket, and it was a big thing. We literally sprinted down Main Street, dripping with sweat, but it was dramatic, wasn't it?
If you haven't listened to the trip report from their trip on that particular occasion, it's well worth going back to and giving it a listen.
Absolutely.
Are they available at the moment?
That was last summer sometime, wasn't it? August, if people want to find it.
Again, I don't believe they are available, but why would you buy one now?
Well, no,
because
exactly.
the parks are closed. So the soon, and they're extending people's dates. So if you bought one now, it wouldn't come into effect till the 2nd of April. And like I say, I think that you buy them in park. I'm not sure about this whole over the phone thing and what the deal is. So I think it's a moot point. I don't know if they were open in autumn. Maybe that's something somebody else can tell us if they know the answer to that. I don't know if they were available when it was open in the autumn. Perhaps they were. So another piece of news is
the episode for that might have been September, by the way, because it was the back end of August we went, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Just in case someone's looking for it, they can't find it.
It was the last week in August.
Yeah.
So it'll be the first week in September, probably.
Yeah, carry on.
The Disneyland Hotel, they've been they've planned a refurbishment on the Disneyland Hotel for, I'd say about a year ago. They made the definite announcement. People have suspected it for 3 or 4 years because it's kind of the next on the list. It was due to reopen last summer. Did it? Oh, my brain's going so foggy.
I'm still hung
now.
up on the idea that they threatened, like, it's an awful nice hotel you got here. You're a real shame if someone were to refurbish it. A real shame.
Oh, I want a life like that.
No, it didn't open. During the pandemic, it hasn't reopened at all.
It hasn't reopened. It kept getting dates, didn't it? Because it was pushed to like the 1st of October, and then they changed
and then they shut down Cheyenne and opened up Santa Fe or something, didn't they? They did a few funny things right before it closed down. They could see that it wasn't working the way they wanted it to, so they shuffled it all around. And
I know it was given dates. It was given a couple of dates, and then they kept just moving it backwards, and it must never have opened. So, I mean, it makes sense now. Yeah. I did think they said early 21, and fine. I'm glad that they're doing it, and I'm glad that they're using this opportunity to do it, because it would have been a big hole in the booking it eats up a lot of people, shall we say, and a lot of restaurant space and all that kind of thing. So now is probably the best time to do it. So that's good news.
Yeah.
Do you like how I'm turning all this into good news? Parks being shut.
Well, let's be positive.
Hotels being shut. It's all wonderful.
This is a very telling question from Susie. She wants to know how old our kids were when we first took them, because she's obviously itching to go.
2.5.
She can't wait to take Dot on Small World. Bonnie was. She was nearly 3. She was. It was July, and her birthday's in August, so she was nearly 3.
Yes, she was. And it was a real, and I will say, Suze, take them before 3 because everything is free. Even like restaurants, they eat off your plate. If you go to buffet restaurants, the tickets that...
Chris looks really confused.
I'm doing Joey's maths. Trying to work out how old Ollie was when we went the first time.
I believe they're free for tickets. Is that right? And basically, they're just free when you take them under 3. And my God, do they get a lot out of it. I mean, it was just the most magical thing, taking a nearly 3-year-old. And thing is, our planned Disney World trip is with our friends. Well, he's 2 at the moment. I think he'll be 3 by the time we go. And selfishly, I'm like inviting them to come with us because I want to experience another family's first time taking a 3-year-old to Disney World. In fact, I'll tell you what, Susie, when you decide to take Dot, I'll come with you. I'll come with you so I can soak up the magic. It's wonderful.
Ollie was just before 3 last time we went. So the first time we went, it was the October before he turned 3. No, before he turned 2. So it'd have been just over 18, 19, 20 months. No, a bit more than that. I don't know. Yeah, somewhere around over 18 months, but not yet 2. And he got everything out of it. He absolutely loved every minute of it.
Not quite a girl, not yet a woman.
That's it. Yeah. Do you see why the confusion on my face? Because I can't work it out. There's too much pressure. It's too much pressure. But yeah, he got loads out of it. Absolutely loved Dumbo. Still does. Never stops talking about Dumbo. Even today, talking about Dumbo.
I will say I was already a Disney veteran before I had Bonnie, but it wasn't a regular thing for us because we were grown up. So we backpacked and we went on, weird and wonderful places.
Boring holidays back in the day.
Yeah, we stayed in youth hostels with 12 strangers and had near-death experiences and stuff like that. But since that, taking Bonnie for the first time, we've been too many times, I can't count them. But I will say she's growing up a little bit overprivileged because she just thinks 3 or 4 Disney holidays a year, that's just what you do. It's what a kid does. It's fine. She loves every minute of it. I don't think she entirely takes it for granted, but I don't think...
She doesn't get excited when we announce it. She goes, okay.
Yeah, because she knows as soon as we get back from one, another one is going to be booked.
You might as well replace the word Disneyland with Asda.
She doesn't take it too much for granted. She loves every minute, but I don't think within the context of our lives, knowing the childhoods that we 3 have, I don't think she really realizes how amazingly lucky she is.
There's some cone bants in the thread here, and also Mark likes our Disney Street sign.
Oh, thank you.
It's good. A photograph of us 2 Christmases ago, all of us posing with that.
The last time we saw each other face to face.
Yeah, almost.
I also use it as my backdrop for when I do DVC YouTube videos. So plug. I've just filmed another one today, which is why it's out. Oh. I know it's weird, isn't it?
The iPad's on a slant.
It says Disney's tree now. Oh, that's better.
There we go.
Yeah, do some forced perspective on it.
See, that's really wonky here, but
it looks all right. I need to get one for my videos to stick on top of my bookshelf. I think that'd be good. You'll have to tell me where you got it, and I'll get the second one here.
In the 4 times.
The White Rose Shopping Centre, they had a stand.
Nice.
I've been planning when we're all back together and we're filming the same thing. There's not going to be room around this table, so I've been planning a little studio for us. That's overselling it a bit, calling it a studio. But I think I know where I can put the table and a green screen to make it work. Right. The one we haven't talked about yet. Oh, the annual pass thing. I've talked about annual passes a bit here, haven't I? Currently, it's 155 days. And this comes on to a little announcement. we think that when they update our annual pass, I keep going on the website and it's still showing January, but it should take us up to the middle of June. So I'm going to provisionally book a couple of park days in the Easter holidays. Only provisionally to see, because it'll depend what happens with our Florida holiday and various other things, but I'd rather get in there and get a park day booked, because we think we may, if we can, we may as well use it if we've got it and we've paid for it. And the flights appear to be cheap at the moment, and there's lots of cheap hotels around. So we're hoping that's what we'll do. Did you have a look at this promotional video with Tom Holland?
Yes, I have had a bit of a look at it. Not a massive look at it, but a bit of a skim of it. Yeah, that's what I did, glimpsed it, yeah.
So it's this was released by Disney Parks blog, and it was on the Disney YouTube channel. So it's very official. And it's showing Tom Holland recording his dialogue on the green screen for all the ride. It's also showing some demonstration of people, because it's an interactive ride, very much like Buzz Lightyear, but you interact just by doing that, and then an imaginary thing comes out your wrist. It's got like motion tracking. No, I'm just dubious about how good people are going to be at that action. You know, you're going to get people doing this.
do you mean how good you're going to be when you're going against Hugh?
It must be pretty vague, because, you know, they'll have to account for people who, you know, have, you know, different style limbs. You know, they might not have one.
Yeah.
So could be anything. Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, it would be cruel if they sort of stipulated that everyone had to have at least one hand with 5 fingers on it just to go on the ride.
Yeah, yes, and he was capable of doing devil horns.
Yeah, well, yes, some people perfectly able can't even do that. So.
Can't lift the finger and stuff, can they?
So I imagine it'll be just some sort of gesture. Any gesture will do.
Some people, like a friend of ours, thinks that is a sign for a telephone.
That's not the sign for. That's the sign for a telephone.
Thank you,
Brookie?
Lucy. It is Brookie. Yeah.
That's well. It's incorrect.
You're going on holiday with this person who thinks that is a.
We'll have words. We'll have words. He'll be sleeping in the corridor if he doesn't get it right. Yeah, it looks really good. It looks really good. I'm very excited about that. I'm addicted to anything that's game based, even though I'm rubbish at it. So Toy Story Mania and Buzz Lightyear's Laser Blast, my bag, baby.
She's a glutton for punishment.
I am. I never win. I never win.
Hannah Marie's here as well. Hi, Hannah Marie.
Hi, Hannah Marie.
It's everybody.
It's a gang. It's a gang.
The old gang's back together.
So
are we missing anyone?
It's made me really excited for this coming. The actual promotion was for Disneyland Anaheim, and they're good to go. They should have opened last July. So they've just got this Avengers campus sitting there waiting. So that's why it was for
collecting cobwebs, quite literally.
That's why he's here. He knows all about Disney, but he's got the quips.
I've got the quips. Spider-Man's got the thwips. That's the actual sound effect that he makes in the comic. Thwip. Thwip is.
Yeah, no, that's good.
So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So I do believe that the ride at Disneyland Paris is going to be a clone. So we could take it that it's a promotion for Paris as well.
Yeah.
Right, that's all my news then.
Hannah Marie joined late because she was in the shower. Oof, Hannah Marie.
Were you washing the Warner Brothers off you? So you were clean for our Disney chat?
Yeah, she's just been on a Bugs Bunny podcast.
Before we move on to other things, could I ask you, Hugh?
Yeah.
As it's fully on view, what is in your tiki cup?
Hey, ole! It's showtime! All together! Your tiki cup in your tiki cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, now drink it up from your tiki cup.
It's Vimto remix again, but it's the raspberry and passion fruit flavour.
Nice.
Thank you.
Don't get to play that jingle much anymore.
Do we need to talk about?
Well, we have a couple of things, haven't we?
Anything else? We got some stuff to. Yeah. We got a parcel we wanted to talk about, and
we've got a parcel to talk about. We've got a competition to talk about, and I just very quickly want to say to both Marks, I haven't done you a jingle yet.
Yeah,
it's coming. And the suggestion was.
Yes.
Was it?
Mm.
Yeah, Marky and Marky.
Mm.
Very good. Lucy with her orange squash bottle.
I know, that was glam, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It fits a lot in it, and I take it to work. And it's like,
I'm drinking juice as
oh,
well.
Look at
very
us all.
good.
Juicy juice.
I remember having a conversation with your mum about how tight she was with squash when you were children. And she says she barely puts anything in it. So all my boys are used to weak squash.
I
And
drink it
when you
very
held
weak.
that up then, really weak squash.
Yeah, I'm
So-
a very weak squash drinker. Oh yeah, what are we doing again?
Some details you don't need to know, aren't they?
Right. We
Go
got
on.
we got a parcel from Bob Sangwell.
Thanks, Bob.
And do we play his jingle?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
His own jingle.
He does have his own jingle. Sorry, Bob. Sorry. I was getting distracted by people calling me rubbish and saying that was fired in the chat. But this is for you, Bob.
How pleasant, bobbing along with Bob Sangwell on 37 Disney Street.
Hi everybody, it's Bob here.
Hey, do you know what? That was the quiz. That's not what I meant to do.
Yeah,
Anyway,
that was the wrong one.
It's close enough. It's close enough.
So yeah, in this parcel, it was. We caught wind we were getting something. We thought, oh, that's nice. It's lovely to be sent something. But wow, what a parcel! We got all sorts in it. Even Bonnie got something. She got a Frozen 2 colouring pad,
And she was delighted.
and she's already been making scenes with it with the stickers.
Mm-hmm.
Over 50 stickers, and we counted them. There are 51 stickers. I love it when they do that. Over 50 stickers, and it's always 51. So yeah, we had all sorts. We had like these old magazines. This is Disney News, and this is a good one. It's a Disney magazine, special issue. It's the dinosaur special.
Oh, we love dinosaur.
Yeah, there's an article in here where someone goes behind the scenes at Dinosaur. Probably regretted it, but yeah. And look, there's a little feature on how to make your own Mickey topiary.
Oh, that is quite interesting.
I need to really
You'll
look
like
at
that.
these. Yeah.
There was also a brochure for it appears to be an auction, and some of them have been circled. Now, Bob, I'd like to know: is this you earmarking some of these? Have you bought any of these? I mean, that's $200 to $400. That one, yeah, just some like artworks, a brochure for that. There's all sorts of things. This was my favourite. Was it's a book called Cartoon Aid, and I thought, how have they got the rights to this? But I realised it's because it's for charity, so they probably like people are throwing things. But it has got every franchise you can think of is in here. It's got look, Captain America going into Marmaduke, Hagar the Horrible.
Oh, it smells like.
Basil the
That
Great.
sounds like Hugh porn.
Basil the Great Mouse Detective. You know what it is, Chris? It is Banana Man, which used to be in the Dandies, now in the Beano, and that's someone who I work for. Top Cat. It's all in it. Asterix, Batman, Spider-Man. It is the ultimate bug book.
Wow.
So
That sounds ace.
this goes on the little shelf next to the downstairs loo,
And gets
and it's like how thick
spotted
it
with
is.
we.
But
That is
Lucy was sent all sorts
Oh
of
no, mine are amazing.
all sorts of pins and badges. Look at these snow. Like we've got some snow. I'm saying, look at these. This is audio as well, but
I am a pin collector /
you can find it on
enthusiast.
YouTube if we don't tweet them,
And Instagram.
and Instagram. Oh yeah, because she's been Instagramming them.
No, yeah. Now Bonnie was going, oh look, mummy, you can trade them. I'm not going to trade these. They're too good. There was one.
There's like old Euro Disney ones. Like
These are
there's
fab.
Minnie on a rocket. Is that? I'm not sure. You
No,
can
it's
see
not
that.
going
Kind
to
of
come
put
up.
it
But
right
there
to the
are,
side.
I'm going to put them on Instagram. I started to, and then Hugh said, no, I'm putting them here till I've shown them on the podcast. The rest of the week there will be. There was one which is a cast member exclusive. I might do a pin trading video once. Because
Yes, do.
there's a cast member exclusive one, and you know, because it's got a tiny hidden Mickey here. But these are given.
Bob says, "I'm very bloody lovely."
Oh, you really are bloody lovely.
Bob,
He is bloody lovely.
we love it.
These are given especially for the cast members to trade. So they're given these to put on the lanyard. So when you go around trading, you can get them. So I've got about 10 pins from Bob, and I'm going to treasure 9 of them. And then I'm going to
treasure 9 of them.
I'm going to take that one to Disney World, fingers crossed, and I'm going to trade it, and I'll come back and I'll tell you what I get with it. So I think that's the gift that keeps on giving. When you're able to keep trading, anyone who does it knows it's the most fun thing to do.
And there's even a certificate here that tells people that you've been on. Oh, is it?
Space Mountain
Space Mountain from 1995.
from Kodak.
Kodak moment.
Wow.
The Kodak moment. So yeah, Bob, we love it. It's very thoughtful of you, and you put something personal in for each of us and a little note and everything. So
And I've got
thank you very
badges as
much.
well as pin badges. So I've got, those are all up my curtain as well, my Disney badges. I'm a child, really, if you saw our bedroom.
Now, Susie also got us a parcel a while ago, and I feel bad now because we didn't do what we're doing now.
Well, no, what we did was I was going to YouTube it, and I'm going to sound so thick now. You know, when you accidentally tap your video twice, and then when you go to watch it back, you've got 1 second at the beginning of it, and you've missed the whole thing. So we did this whole unboxing thing, and you can't rebox something and ask a 5-year-old at the time to act surprised when things came out. So I went a bit Pete Tong, but we didn't have the platform. So I want to say, first of all, these were my favourite thing that came out of that box. But there was something for all of us there as well.
My favourite thing was something that was probably for Bonnie, which was the My Little Pony.
Oh, yeah.
The original My Little Pony. Have we plugged Bob's Facebook group?
No, we haven't. Go for it. You do it.
Well, you do, because you're better at remembering things than I am.
Bob's got a Facebook group called Disney. Is it Then and Now?
Then and Now. We checked it.
Thank you.
before
Then
we
and
came on.
Now. Sorry, Bob. And it's very good because do you know what? He goes on every single day. He'll give you facts about the day. He tells you about people who were born at the time on that day and things that are done, or films that were released and stuff. There's loads of interesting things every single day of the week. And people share all sorts of stuff on there, don't they? It's really good. And
it is very interesting. It's my daily sort of digestion.
Yeah.
Start the day by having a little read about something.
If you're a book lover as well, like me, there's a number of published authors tend to post little bits and bats on there as well, which I find quite alluring.
That it's a genuinely Disney passionate community. Like
Absolutely,
there's quite
yeah.
a lot of Disney. There's a lot of Disney planning Facebook groups, and it's just full of people going for the first time, going for the first time. Any tips? And you're like, where do you start? You know, they're very well-meaning, but they're not people who know about Disney. What I love about this Facebook group is there's some really good discussions and appreciations in the chat, because it's for Disney enthusiasts, and it's a lovely, friendly group.
I've just joined because I'm really slack. So I've only just joined now, but I've joined.
That's how easy it is, everybody. You could join just like that.
There's a question pending approval.
Oh.
So I'm not even 100% sure I'm going to get in.
I just like to say, Bob sent me a small package as well this week. He sent me a copy of Tide Cully's latest book. You might remember that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago, The Phantom Manor Phenomenon. He reviewed he sent me the copy of the second book, which I also have a copy to give away, which we'll discuss in a minute. But also he sent me a brochure, I think the same as the one that you've got with Goofy on the front of it, and the magazine as well, and they're brilliant. So yeah, thank you from me as well, Bob, and thank you also for the books you've sent me in the past, and also for doing those little coasters that you did for us as well last year.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Love them.
I can't wait till we're back together and we can bring them, we can use them in our studio when we're having drinks and broadcasting live. Our studio, yeah.
I bought this, if we're doing a little show and tell, I bought this young lady for no apparent reason for myself this week.
Oh.
And it's just because, know, when Facebook spams you with stuff.
She's got a green tinge. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Mm.
She's the main attractions plush, for those who are listening, if you've seen it at the Disney store. She's number 11 and she's for the Jungle Cruise. Now, thing is, Facebook knows how long you look at things and how many times you browse things and stuff, and then it spams you with it. Well, I'd been like ogling, no intention of buying this for weeks and weeks and weeks, and Facebook just kept on pushing it at me over and over again, and eventually I cracked, as many good addict does. And it was cheap, it was on sale, and I thought, you know what, I deserve it. I've worked hard this month. It's been a hard month and I've worked hard.
See, I've been after this black and white Spider-Man hoodie from, I think it's from Merchoid, the website Merchoid. I think it's them. And occasionally I'll go on the website to see if it's in stock, because small has been out of stock for like a year. But as soon as I've been on it, they start spamming me with emails saying, quick, get this hoodie while it's available. But it's been sold out for a year. And I even messaged them to say, it's really annoying to get spammed at something you can't have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well,
that's my little whinge.
It's just reminded me that I came up with an idea for a good Disney bound today because I'm back in Disney planning mode, and somebody asked for a Disney bounding episode sometime. So
It's
I
coming.
think,
Where are you going to dress me up?
Yeah. We're going to dress him for each land.
I might do a separate video because me and Chris have been doing some videos for YouTube. Might do a separate Disney bounding video, but then we can have a discussion on the Disneyland Paris show as well.
I'll do one eventually about my shirts.
Oh,
Yes, we want that as well.
Yeah. Anyway, Chris.
I was going to say something and I can't remember what I was going to say now. So it doesn't matter. Shall I talk about the competition instead?
Yes.
Excellent. So I have a different copy from the one that Bob sent me, of Ty Cully's book, The Curse of Big Thunder Mountain, which is his follow-up book to The Phantom Manor Phenomenon. And it's all about Big Thunder Mountain and Frontierland. Ty got in touch with me after watching the video that I did to say, thanks for the review. And do you think you might review my second book for me? I'd like to send you a copy. And I said, well, I've already got a copy coming, thanks. But if I can do one as a giveaway for people who watch, then that'd be really cool. So that's what I'm going to do. This copy could be yours.
What's it smell like?
It smells like...
Do you do a sniff test on your reviews?
I don't do a sniff test, no.
Because I requested very nerdy, in-depth look at the cover, but actually it needs a sniff test.
Right, I'll bear that
So
in
that's the
mind
first
for
thing
the
I do.
future. I think one of the things is not all the books that I'm reviewing are new books, and so that sniff test might not be very pleasant. So I've kind of avoided it up to now. This smells like it's print on demand.
Oh.
Anyway, I've read the beginning of this book and it's really good, and of what I've read of it, and it's in a very similar vein to the first one if you've read that. But if you would like to win a copy of this, what I'd like to know from you is what your favourite thing about Frontierland is. And I'd like you to put it in the comments on this video on YouTube. So if you're listening to this at the moment and you would like to win a copy of the book that I'm pointing at on the screen that you can't see, if you go to YouTube, the link will be in the description for this podcast. You go to YouTube and put something in the comments there. And while you're at it, you might as well subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. And then what we'll do is we'll pick one of our favourites, and either next week or the week after, we'll give the book to that person, and then they'll have the book. It's that simple. Simple, isn't it?
Cool.
Does that sound all right?
So what's the deadline's next week, is it?
Yeah, well, let's do it next week. We'll give it away next week. Yes.
See, I'm busy thinking what my favourite thing about Frontierland is.
So many things. It's the cone, isn't it, everybody? It's the cone. We know it's the cone.
It
If you
might
put the cone,
be
you won't win.
that no one's ever in the Frontierland toilets because they don't know they're there.
There you go. That's a good one as well.
Yeah.
Yay.
Right.
Bob wants to know if he can enter.
Of course you can enter, Bob. Of course you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, do you ship competition winners in to the EU? Do we need to pay customs? Oof.
If
We don't know.
it needs to go there, then I'll do it. We'll find a way of
Yeah, we
doing it.
will.
Even if
We'll-
it costs
we'll work it out,
£28.
yeah. Even if I have to send it like via India or something in order to get it in easier, I'll do whatever has to be done. You know?
I know someone
We
in
will.
Abu Dhabi. We could send it via him.
Yeah, that could work. Yes.
We're here because we like making Disney friends, aren't we? We're not penny
Exactly.
pinching. If you win, we'll send it to you, and we'll send it with love.
Do you know what else, by the way?
Chris will send it.
I've got other books to give away too.
Ooh,
Yeah.
But I'm keeping tight-lipped on that for the moment.
Well, you know,
keep going.
spread the love over
Yeah.
the course of a few months.
Yeah, well, exactly. And also, just while I'm plugging, and you can plug as well in a second, Lucy, but I've got another book review coming this week, and it's a little bit different.
Mm.
Is it a musical?
No. Oh, that's a good idea, though, isn't it? Maybe the next one. I've got a couple of books about music, so maybe they could be musical episodes. We shall see. Good. I'll shut up now. Go on, carry on.
I've not got loads to plug, just that I finally got the second episode of Talking About DVC up. It's been edited and ready to go since before Christmas, and life got in the way. And then I filmed the third one today, so I hope to be a little bit more disciplined and have that up by the end of this week.
Hooray!
Because I'm enjoying doing them. I might start, because we're very interested in Disney World, but we try keep it to ourselves a bit on this channel because it's mainly about Disneyland Paris. So I might start doing some to the camera chats about Disney World as well for the YouTube channel. So if you know, I don't mind talking to myself, but if you guys want to watch it, you know where we are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yay.
Good.
Right. Is that it, guys?
Comfortable
I
silence.
think
there.
so, because
Shall we bid
it's
adieu?
been 42 minutes and we need to do a review of Brother Bear,
We do.
Yeah, we do. Ooh.
but that won't be too long.
That's
We
been a
always
long
say that,
time
Hugh.
coming. Everyone's been
You've done
dying
it
to
now.
know what we think about Brother Bear.
Yeah.
We've got a few. films
anything
to
in the
get to,
chat
but
before we
it'll
go?
be good.
Also, it's just bants flying around. Bob's
Yeah,
just
nice
approved me
bants.
for the group, so
Hooray! Well done, Bob.
I'm so glad. Can you imagine if it blocked you?
Hannah Marie won't watch the book review unless there's a sniff test.
Well, there isn't a sniff test this week, and that's because it's a bit different. It's only a little bit different, little being the operative word, but
Oh.
there's no sniffing. There's no sniffing this week. It wouldn't be appropriate.
Well, Hannah won't be watching it, Chris.
I think you should still
But
watch
from
it,
now on,
Hannah.
give him a sniff. Right. If that's all we've got to talk about, thank you all very much for watching. I've been Lucy, and good night.
I've just realised that I need to play some outro music, and I've been Chris.
I
and
will
good
keep
night.
talking.
That's
It's
all right,
lovely
guys.
to see you all the time, and make sure you keep the magic alive as long as it takes your associate producer to press play.
Welcome to the Disneyland Paris
I'm playing the
Okay,
intro instead of the outro
Play
music.
the
as well,
intro.
so that's good.
Can't get the staff.
Oh well, we ended with a bang.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Oh dear.